Finally, here we are, Book 60. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, Kristina. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smashy stuff going on here. And it's my favorite author. Sorry about that. It's my favorite author in the whole wide world, and it was Book 60. And I was thinking I was mistaken. Oh, be prepared for spoilers. I am just going to read this book and talk about this book and enjoy the heck out of this book. It's Book 60. If you have not watched all of my videos on this series, please go check them out. I've done all of them. Start with Naked in Death, Immortal in Death, Glory in Death, etc., etc., etc. So, we have Bonded in Death. If you didn't see my unboxing yesterday, we talked about the fancy schmancy cover. What does it say? During the Urban Wars, a secret organization came together to fight for peace. They called themselves the 12. Though each knew the names the others went by in this time of war, they only called each other by their code names, their animal code names. And she has 60 here. The names of all the books here. I noticed the other day, and I will check again, but they're missing the in-betweens. So when you watch my videos for this series, I include all of the in-betweens. Midnight in Death and there's Interlude in Death and all those. There's a whole bunch of in-betweens. So technically she's written more than 60. Back in the olden days, when she first started out, she'd write 3 Nora Roberts and 4 J.D. Robbs a year. 2 hardcovers and 2 novellas. She stopped that a long time ago. But they're out there. Midnight in Death, Interlude in Death, there's a whole bunch. And they're really good stories. They're a couple hundred pages, that's it. They're small. But please go check out all my videos. Oh, and we also did Janet Ivanovich that year too. So, Bonded in Death. I tried to wait. This is my birthday month. And I was going to wait for my birthday to read this because it came the day it came out. And I just couldn't handle it. I had to read it. I just had to read it. So, a lot of the stuff, like I said, that I thought was going to happen in this book, because it was book 60 and because it was monumental, I will spoil it right now. There's no number 2 in this book. You don't see Mavis at all. She's mentioned, but not at all. And the house. We don't see the house either. So, completely off the shelf. Completely off the shelves. Off the shelves. And it goes quite quickly. I will also spoil there was only 1 death in here. She usually has 2 or 3. But this is a 1 death book. And we learn a lot about Summerset's past in this book. We knew from previous books that he was in the Urban Wars and that he was a medic in the Urban Wars. But, so, apparently, this guy, Giovanni Rossi, got a phone call from an associate that he hadn't seen or talked to since the Urban Wars. The guy said, I need you to come, I need this, and he didn't tell him what. Rossi just decided, got on a plane, didn't tell his wife, nothing, came to New York, and the guy killed him. And it takes a while, it takes a couple of chapters, and it's a little, you're like, come on already. And it took a few chapters. So we're just gonna go through this. So this guy, you're told his name right up front, Conrad Potter. And so this guy has it out for Summerset and his friends. And they formed this unit during the Urban Wars, and they completed missions during it. The 12. And he's already killed, one guy died of natural deaths, and he's on the bench to kill the existing ones. And so they invite these other 12. Well, there's not like 12, I think there's 6 or 7 now. And they invite them all to the house, and they all travel with no problem. They all arrive with no problem within like a day, not even a day they arrive. So it's, they get there quite quickly. And, like I said, no Mavis, no Leonardo, nothing. But we do get some stuff from Nadine. So I want to enjoy this book. So let's enjoy it together. We start off with the prologue, and the prologue is in the past. A teacher, codenamed Fawn, an actor, codenamed Chameleon, dancer, codenamed Panther, cop or constable, his name is Shark, the medic is Fox, and that is Summerset. Young scientist is Owl. A technician 1 is a wasp, and the second technician is a cobra. The retired soldier is the rabbit. The thief is the magpie. The mechanic, and then we have the heiress. But we don't hear much from them. So Giovanni Ross received word from Fox, and like I said, he dies. Well, so when Eve gets to the crime scene, and we have to, let me back up here. So we have Eve is a lieutenant in the New York City Police and Security Department. Roarke is her husband. Peabody is her partner on the job. MCNABB is Peabody's real life partner. He also works in EDD in the electronics division. And his boss is Feeney, who used to be Eve's mentor. He's captain of EDD now. Whitney is her boss. Tibble is everybody's boss. Mira is the department shrink. We don't hear anything about Mr. Mira in this book. Summerset is Roarkes Majordomo. Nadine is a reporter. She's also got her own show now. She's writing books. The books are being turned into movies. The Red Horse Diaries. Nadine has become massive famous. She's also got an assistant now, Quilla, that we met a few books ago, and she attends Andian. I'm not saying it right, but I don't know. But it's Andian. Listen to the audiobooks. It's awesome. Susan Erickson is just great. I just love her. And so then we see a little Trueheart, a little of Baxter, very, very small. Reinecke, Jenkinson with the tie, the whole 9 yards. So it's we see mostly of the 7 that's left. So Eve goes to the crime scene, and apparently the victim was picked up in a limo, and he was gassed. He was poisoned by gas. And the victim knew he was being poisoned by gas and fought and showed signs of it. We also get a little bit of De Winters. De Winter shows up. She's the bone lady. Eve calls her into the case. We also get to Abernathy later on. But I like the little checkup with Nadine. Where is it now? So, Eve and Peabody are traveling in the vehicle. And this is one of the only one cute talks that they have. I gotta put this back here. I'm sorry. So, this is their little conversation. Eve is in the car with Peabody. And there's usually a few of these in the books, but in this book, there's only the one. Peabody wants to talk about the house. Spoiler, house alert. 2 minutes, Dallas. We're spending the whole weekend in the house. We bought a new bed. McNabb and I splurged because bed. We're putting the one from the apartment in one of the guest rooms. Mavis and Fam are going to spend the weekend there too. Roarke says 3 weeks and it's done. We get a whole weekend. Our office is done, my craft room, and the main suite. We have a suite. Peabody pumped her fist in the air. The kitchen, oh, it's just everything. And we started outfitting the living room. Oh, Bella's room, it's a dream. And the nursery for number 2 is really taking shape. I am building that toy box to match the chair you're giving her. She doesn't know. Leonardo does know because he's designed the fabric for the chair. We're going to have a party, a big giant party as soon as it's all done, which is almost now. That's 2 minutes plus. I know, but I'm so happy and you don't mind so much. She really didn't, not so much, especially since it was nearly done and she wouldn't have to hear regularly about paint colors, refurbished tiles, and we're at the head of the House of the Dead. Relieved, Eve pulled up. Let's go see Rossi and Morris. So they go see Rossi and Morris. And then, Morris tells Eve that the guy was gassed, and she visits with Calendar, Feeney, and Whitney, and she learns that Whitney and Feeney also participated in the urban wars way back when. Jenkinson wears his tie. So they tell Eve he would build electronic security systems as part of his duties. Search on hackers, those who attempt and often succeed in cunning the unwary out of money or attempt to harm as part of a team. Yes, he liked being part of a team. He was a part of a team in the underground during the urban wars. Yes, he was very dedicated, and the names of his team members. So Roarke, that was Roarke talking. So we'll go through this. And then, did I write it down? Let's see. I want to talk about it. Be prepared. This is a long one. And I'm enjoying the heck out of this book. And I will do the audiobooks too. I just love them. They're walking into the bullpen. Let's see. I just had it. Now I lost it. His data says he worked out of London, not Rome. Peabody hunched her shoulders at Eve's long look. That doesn't mean he didn't spy. Get started there. I'm going to contact Nadine on the off chance. She broke off as she turned into the bullpen, saw not only camera-ready Nadine first, but the young apprentice Quilla. Quilla sat at a chair pulled up at Jenkinson's desk, obviously unaffected by the atomic tie. She studied him intently as he wound through some story for her. This teenager wore black pants that stopped just above her ankles and her purple kicks. The button shirt she wore untucked matched the sneakers, as did the thick fall of bangs and a few scattered streaks through her brown hair. Nadine watched them, wore a green suit that matched her cat eyes. Her stringy blonde hair, perfectly coiffed, waved back from her sharp, angled face. Eve caught the fading scent of sugar and chocolate. Whatever bakery bribe Nadine had brought in had already been devoured. Detective Sergeant, haven't you got work? I'm doing it, Lou. You cleared the kid to come in. She had, Eve remembered. Quilla had completed her story on EDD, and Eve had given the green light to conduct interviews in the bullpen. But that was before murder and spies and what she believed could be a decades-long grudge. D.S. Jenkinson said you'd be too busy to talk to me today, Quilla said. But he and Detective Renicky had some time. Detectives Baxter and Trueheart in the field. Detectives Carmichael and Santiago are in interview. Eve flicked a glance to the caseboard. So it says right there. If they have time later, that's chill. If not, I can come back. I'm going to talk to some of the uniforms. And I really want to interview you and Peabody. Don't you have school? This is part of it. Quilla tried for earnest but couldn't quite hide the smug. Part of my education. You gave her the green light, Nadine said. Yeah, why'd you bring cookies? As a thank you, Quilla said. For giving me the time because everyone here protects and serves. Even caught Nadine overly smug smile. She's a freaking mini you. No, she's all Quilla, Nadine says. My office. And even Nadine talk about the case. Let's see. So they talk about the case. She has Nadine, big news, big news, big news, big spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, warning, the Surgeon General, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Nadine and Jake Kincaid are moving in together. He's moving into her place. Hey, save some money. They only have one apartment. Why have two? They're moving in together, and Nadine wants advice from Eve. Eve, of all people. Miss Unsociable. And she accidentally nabbed the richest guy in the world. What can you say? Right? Nadine's the one that's done all the dating. Mavis was the one that did all the dating, but not Eve. Eve didn't do any dating, but she's the one that's got the ring on it with the richest guy in the world. So they talk men. So then she talks with Roarke. I just love these books. And if you could spread the word that I exist, that'd be appreciative too. But, if you're watching my channel, if you're still watching my channel, yes! Thank you! Awesome! I could be alone, talking to nobody. Well, there is nobody here, it's just me. So maybe, if you're listening, thank you! Hit the thumbs up too, would you please? Thank you so much for listening all the way through. It's awesome that you're here. This somehow connects to Somerset, to the Urbans and Europe. I figured he can give me a picture, but of course he's not here, so I can't, and he can't. I'm in a shitty mood, she realized. It's his fault. Of course it is. Adoring her, he kissed her scowling mouth. I'm going to get some wine, and you'll tell me all about this. What do you know about the Scurienza Informatica? Not a great deal, I suppose, he said. A respected cyber based in Rome. It's been around decades with a solid reputation. I think it's a front. A front for what? Intelligence co-ops. Then she says she wants to have a meal, and she insists on mounds and mounds of French fries. And you need cheese on those fries, cheese and ketchup. Eve, of course, puts a gallon of salt on them like she does popcorn, but French fries, ketchup, cheese. If you want to throw on some bacon with those, you want to get really fancy and do chives. So she tells him that Nadine is moving in with Kincaid is moving in with her. And she also tells him that Feeney's code name, and she always, in 60 books, she has always said that Feeney has that hound dog face. And that's what his code name was in the Urbans, Hound. And her boss, Whitney, unknowns to her, his thing was lightning? Lightning because he was so quick on his feet back when he was younger. So that is those spoilers. But, let's see. Why did I want to read this? I don't remember. So she's still talking to Roarke. Somerset comes in, and he sees her bored. She says, "You knew Giovanni Rossi." Eve, a moment, Roarke snapped. He's dead pale. He's in shock. Shocked, not in shock, Somerset qualified. Yes, I knew him. A friend. The cat leaped on the couch, moved into Somerset's lap. He stroked Galahad gently, his grieving eyes on Eve. Where are my couch potatoes? Where are my kittens? Where's my Smokey? Where's my Sandy? I'm abandoned. I need a cat. I need a comfort cat. Where are they? They're sleeping. And who knows where Casanova is? He's probably upstairs under a bed someplace. Those girls. Those girls. I caught Sandy this morning. The boxes. Some of the boxes. We have a ton of boxes. You're supposed to have at least 2 boxes for every cat. And we have some boxes under the stairs, hidden away. And the poor boy was trying to take care of business in his box. And there was a little girl leaning over the edge of the stairs, giving him the stink eye. The poor guy couldn't do stuff in private. And I looked at her. And I said, Sandy. And she just gave me the who me look. She's got the most innocent expression. She can pull it off. I haven't had too many cats that can pull it up, but Sandy can pull it off. The who me, I wasn't doing nothing. I'm innocent charge. She used to be the lookout. When they were kittens, when Smokey and Sandy were kittens, Smokey would be in the bag, behind the couch, doing whatever, and Sandy would be the lookout to let Smokey know if someone was coming. So they talk about the case, and he tells about all his friends, and they call his friends to come in. They all drop of a hat. They all come in, no questions asked. They hurry up. They all get to stay at the castle, the house that Roarke built. We learn about all the different players. Let's see, and we learn about Alice. Alice was involved in the group, and that's when she had Marlena, and we've heard quite a bit about Marlena in the beginning of the series. Marlena was Summerset's daughter, him and Alice. Alice was her mom. And Marlena was struck down at 16, I believe. It's horrific death. Some guys did it to get back at Roarke, so Roarke got back at them. But Summerset lost a daughter, but he's had Roarke all these years. But he's still, the woulda, shoulda, couldas are just horrific. But anyway, so we learn about Alice, and we learn about Robert Sylvester and Alice and Hawk, and the shark was Conrad Potter. He's the one that's doing the killing. So we have quite a bit of that. So then the next day, she talks to Peabody, keeps Peabody informed of what happened. One of the 7, actually, now that's all that's left. One of the 7 is somebody we met in a previous book that Eve let go because he killed. Eve has this thing with HSO, Homeland Security, something like that. And they did stuff to Eve when she was a child. It's a really long story. But most of her, it's talked about through most of the books, and some books more than the others. And then in New York to Death, the whole thing comes to a head. And you learn a whole bunch of stuff. So this murder took place a couple of books ago, the woman on the ferry. And he killed this woman on the ferry because she did stuff to his family too, horrific. And Eve was like, you can go. So the guy comes back and he's like, I want to say, sorry. I'm very happy you let me go. If you want to turn me in now. And like, Eve's, I'm still not turning you in. There'll be no record of that part of our thing in any of the records here. And she tells Peabody, and Peabody's a little pissed off that Eve didn't tell her in the first place when it actually happened, but she's happy now that Eve is telling her now. Then we learn that someone faked his death. Conrad faked his death, and his body was replaced by somebody else. Then we get another little, this is a massive spoiler alert. This is it. Nothing to do with our core characters. This is an extra character. This young lady uh, who died a couple of books ago, was writing music, and she was on on her birthday or near her birthday. It was some big celebration. She went to see Avenue A and Jake Kincaid, and she was going to give Jake Kincaid her music disc of songs she compiled, and she wanted to see if Avenue A would do them or let her even be the lead singer for these particular songs. And she sounds like, and it seems like she would have had a really promising career if she hadn't been killed that evening after she gave the disc to, I don't know if she got, yeah, Eve gives the disc to Jake, I think. So it turns out that, not only is, let me see if I can find the page here. Um, let me see. There's no special editing here. Yancey's gonna do the thing. Um, I thought I saw it. Okay. More spoilers, tons of spoilers. And if you're still watching this video, thank you so much, because it will take 15 hours to upload. My upload speed is a 3 or a 4, and that's why it takes so long. And I thought I upgraded uh my I went through a whole thing with my cable company, and apparently nothing changed in my internet when I upgraded. But so Quill Peabody is telling Eve, Quilla asked to interview me for her school project about our current investigation. Eve said no and got behind the wheel. I already told her no, that I couldn't discuss with her details of an ongoing investigation. I said she should pick any closed case I worked on. Peabody strapped in as Eve pulled out of her slap. She decided on the Frances Bryce investigation. Could have figured. Relevant to her as the victims were teenage girls. Add Jake and Nadine right there with the first victim. Mavis said Avenue A working on Jenna Harbaugh's music disc. Her parents gave them a lot of what she'd written and recorded in her room. Some she'd written but hadn't actually recorded yet. Bryce took Jenna's life, even though Eve thought, but he hadn't taken her dream. Avenue A was making sure of that. Mavis told me what she heard so far is seriously mag and heading for alt, Peabody continued. She's going to do some vocals on a couple of them. She should have figured that too, Eve realized. It was so Mavis. They're establishing a foundation in her name for scholarships, and I guess you know Roarke putting it on his label, and that cut's going into the foundation too. I just love it. Um, there are two cute references. I think this is the one. Um, she goes, when she walked out, Eve turned to Peabody. Find out where you can get that candy bar in New York. If you can't get it here, and we can start checking golf courses. He stole from dead people. Eve angled her head. And this offends you more than making them dead? No, sort of. I'm just saying it's so low. It could be a bad guy, an enemy agent, and Potter's like 007. I know who that is. She watched some of the vids with Roarke. Okay, license to kill, right? And it's war. But then you take the dead guy's coin collection for personal gain. That's Sub-Zero. I think we've established Conrad Potter as Sub-Zero. And then on the same page, what she told us fits Mira's profile like a boot. And that's something that Eve said. And Peabody goes, no, it's a glove. Not if it's on your foot. She's right, but the saying is fits like a glove. It doesn't say fit like a boot. I just thought that was cute. That's one of the few references. Um, then she talks to the bad guys, and we get the fake phone call, and oh, another cute scene. Massive spoiler alert. They're doing some. Good lord, does she have to go off all the time? I keep threatening to take her batteries out, but it was my mom's clock. And she doesn't tell time. She hasn't told time in a very long time. Uh, she says 11. She said 11 for about 2 or 3 years now. She used to say 9:30. Then somewhere along the line, she ended up at 10:30. But now she's been at 11 for quite a few years. But they're going door to door. They're interviewing they're trying to find where this guy is. So they're interviewing managers. And they go into this department building, and where does she go? The a dark-skinned woman with improbable blonde hair worn in waist-length coils gave Eve the wide eyes. Oh my god, it's you! Who's dead? Somebody's been murdered? I saw the vid. It was wild. No one's dead, Mrs. Ogilvy. Ogilvy sucked in air and her eyes went wide. We've got clones? No, ma'am. You could help in an area of investigation. Bet your ass I will. Sorry, that's rude. I'm a little, aback. Who'd say no to Dallas and Peabody? And then they look through the apartment. But those are the cute moments in the book. I just love it to death. I just absolutely love it to death. I'm sorry. I'm guessing, I'm thinking, maybe, hypothetically, that we will get number 2 in book 61, and we will get the house in book 61. Since this book is, Peabody says 3 weeks. Oh, hey, look, there's a co-host. Hey, Smoke. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come see Mommy. Come say hi to the audience. Come here. Come here. Fine. Smoke. You looked at me. Smoke. Smoke. Come here, Smoke. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come say hi. Here you go. Did you like Mommy's book? Did you like Mommy's book? There we go. Oh. Summerset needed Galahad for a hug. Yes. Bonded in death, and count your days. Count your days till September, and framed in death. Book 61. September. Come here. Come here. Where'd you go? Oh, well. Check it out. And the fancy schmancy cover. Have a good one. Oh, check out the unboxing. I've got 20-something boxes here. We're going to unbox them all. Have a good one. Don't forget the if then. Oh, and don't forget St. Patrick's Day. If you haven't, in a couple weeks, the St. Patrick's Day video. There's 2. There's Cozies and there's the Blarney Stone. I didn't call it the Blarney Stone when I did it, and I should have. Books, fiction books, fake books not written by real authors. The whole thing is fake. Have a good one.